Hey there, Future Space Warrior. Before we dive into this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And seriously, let me know in the comments, where are you watching from right now? And what time is it for you? All right, let's get into it. The year is 20X7. You wake up in the middle of a screaming, metallic nightmare. Your head slams against the reinforced plating, a dull thud that rattles your teeth. The air stinks of ozone and burnt fuel, thick and metallic, making your throat scratch. You're strapped in, tight, impossibly tight, inside a drop pod that feels less like transport and more like a high-velocity coffin. Every rivet, every joint groans under immense stress as the craft tears through atmosphere. You can feel the crushing embrace of G-forces, pinning you deep into the seat. Your breath catches, shallow and rapid, as if an invisible hand is squeezing your chest. The vibrations aren't just rattling the pod, they're shaking your bones, reverberating through your very core. Outside, beyond the thick hull, you hear it, a deep, guttural roar, like an enraged beast. That's the atmosphere, screaming back at your descent, trying to rip you apart. A single small viewport flickers to life for a split second, showing a streaking, fiery blur, the outer shell of your pod incandescent from friction. Then it's gone, replaced by the flickering, sickly green glow of internal status lights, most of them red, flashing an urgent, silent alarm. Your vision blurs at the edges, a tunnel forming as your body fights to stay conscious under the pressure. You try to move your arm, just a twitch, but it feels like it weighs a ton, glued to the armrest by the sheer force. Your fingers clench involuntarily, feeling the cold, rough texture of the restraint. This isn't just a bumpy landing. This is a full-body assault. Then comes the lurch. Not a smooth deceleration, but a violent, stomach-dropping tumble. The entire pod groans, a sound of stressed metal reaching its breaking point. Alarms blare now, a frantic, piercing shriek that cuts through the roar of the descent. Your stomach rises into your throat, and for a terrifying moment, you feel weightless, suspended in chaos, before gravity reasserts itself with a brutal, sickening slam. You're flung forward against your restraints, the padding digging painfully into your shoulders and hips. Impact. It's not one sharp jolt, but a series of bone-jarring, grinding blows that resonate deep within your skull. The world goes dark for a second, then flashes back with sparks. Dust, fine and acrid, fills the air, catching the emergency lights. Everything screeches, twists, and then a deafening silence. Your ears ring, a high-pitched whine that slowly fades, replaced by the trickle of debris falling around you. You are still strapped in, breathing hard, heart hammering against your ribs, feeling every ache and strain from the sudden, violent stop. The drop pod has delivered you. Crushing embrace, indeed. Now, you just need to figure out if it's letting you go. You're here, on whatever planet this is, and for now, that's all that matters. You survived. Your body aches, but your mind is already moving, pushing past the pain, trying to comprehend what comes next. What a way to arrive. The deafening silence after the crash is almost as unsettling as the impact itself. Your ears still hum, a high-pitched echo. But now you can discern the faint, rhythmic drip of some unknown liquid inside the mangled pod. The air, though no longer thick with ozone, has a new, alien scent. Damp earth mixed with something vaguely metallic and a sweet, almost floral decay that tickles the back of your throat. It's heavy, humid, clinging to your skin even inside your suit. You groan, a low, involuntary sound as you test your limbs. Everything aches, protesting every slight movement, but nothing feels broken. A small victory. You push against the heavy restraints, muscles screaming in protest, until the emergency release finally gives, with a hiss of decompressed air. You tumble forward, landing clumsily on the buckled floor plating, the impact sending another jolt through your spine. Dust motes dance in the weak, flickering glow of the emergency lights, revealing the devastation around you. Panels are ripped open, wires sparking faintly, and what was once a compact control panel is now a twisted mess of circuitry. A small crack in the hull, barely noticeable before, now reveals a sliver of the world outside. Through it, you catch a glimpse of deep, unnatural violet light. Pushing yourself up, you stumble toward the main hatch, the heavy metallic clang of your boots echoing in the small space. Your fingers brush against a cold, slick residue clinging to the torn metal. Is that sap? Or something worse? The primary release is jammed, bent inward from the impact. You brace yourself, drawing on every ounce of strength, and ram your shoulder into the weakened seam. It groans, a strange shriek of metal, but holds. Again, this time, a series of sharp cracks, like bones snapping, precede a low groan, and the hatch finally lurches inward with a shower of debris. A rush of cold, humid air spills into the cramped space, bringing with it a symphony of new sounds. A low, chirping hum, like unseen insects, mixes with the distant rush of water and something else, a faint, guttural roar that sends a shiver down your spine. Your breath hitches. You step out, carefully, your heavy boots sinking slightly into rich, spongy soil. The violet light washes over everything, painting the massive, towering flora in shades of deep indigo and shadowy purple. Enormous, fern-like plants unfurl above you, their fronds dripping with moisture, creating a claustrophobic canopy. The air here is thick, with a different humidity, almost like a warm, wet blanket, but breathable. You take a deep, cautious breath, the strange floral decay now sharper, more defined. It's beautiful, in a haunting, overwhelming way. A massive, alien jungle stretches out before you, dense and unforgiving, illuminated by a sky you can barely discern through the swirling mists and the vibrant, unknown vegetation. You are truly here, swallowed by an alien world, and the journey has only just begun. It's an isolating thought, this vast unknown, but the air in your lungs feels real, a stark reminder that you're still here, still breathing. A dry, metallic tang coats your tongue, utterly different from the humid, organic scent of the jungle. Here, a cold, thin wind whispers past your suit, carrying fine dust that stings your exposed sensors. You step out of the dense foliage, and the world opens up, raw and desolate. This isn't the oppressive green canopy anymore. This is Crateria. The air itself feels ancient, brittle. You hear it too, the whispers that give this place its name. It's not just the wind whistling through jagged rock formations and the skeletal remains of what might have been massive, forgotten structures. It's a chorus of barely perceptible sounds, a low, resonant hum vibrating from deep within the earth, the rustle of loose pebbles skittering across windswept ledges, and a faint, almost rhythmic clinking that echoes from some unseen cavern. It sounds like a graveyard of machines, a dormant intelligence sighing in its sleep. You scan the horizon, your visor adapting to the harsh, unfiltered light of an unseen sun. Massive, craggy cliffs of dark, purplish rock jut violently into the sky, their surfaces scarred by millennia of erosion. Interspersed among them are colossal, obsidian-like ruins, their smooth, impossibly strong material, suggesting an origin far beyond any known civilization. You run a gloved hand over one of these surfaces. It's cold, smooth, and utterly indifferent to your touch, yet you feel a faint vibration, a ghostly resonance that seems to hum against your palm. Your boots crunch on something dry and crystalline as you move forward, the sound surprisingly loud in the vast, open space. The ground here isn't the spongy soil of the jungle. It's a mosaic of shattered rock and strange petrified mineral formations. Every few steps you pause, tilting your head, trying to pinpoint the source of the persistent high-pitched whine that seems to drift in and out of hearing. Is it a creature? A malfunctioning power conduit from a long-dead era? Or just the sheer emptiness of this place playing tricks on your auditory sensors? You notice something else. Faint, iridescent dust swirling in the wind, catching the light in fleeting rainbow glints. It clings to the dark surfaces of the ruins, almost like an ancient patina. You touch it, and it feels like nothing, disintegrating into thin air before you can truly register its texture. The whispers intensify for a moment as you move deeper, a cacophony of subtle sounds that are both unnerving and oddly mesmerizing. This isn't just a dead world. It feels like a world holding its breath, waiting. You are alone here, a tiny flicker of life amidst immense, patient desolation. And that quiet, persistent hum from beneath the earth? It feels like the pulse of something very old, still dreaming. You press your gloved hand against an immense wall, not of natural rock, but something impossibly smooth, cool to the touch even through your suit's material. It radiates a faint, almost imperceptible tremor, a low hum resonating deep within the structure itself. The air here, within this colossal chamber, is still and heavy, carrying a distinct, dry mineral scent that settles on your tongue like fine dust. It's a breath held for millennia. Above you, the ceiling stretches into an unfathomable darkness, supported by colossal pillars that seem to grow organically from the floor, yet are clearly carved with impossible precision. They're adorned with intricate, swirling patterns, glyphs that tell a story you can't decipher but feel significant, weighted with ancient knowledge. Your visor's internal lights cut through the gloom, revealing the sheer scale of this place. It's a monument, not just a building. Every surface, every angle, speaks of a forgotten artistry and power. Your footsteps, usually a muffled thud, echo unnervingly in the vastness. They bounce off the polished stone, travel to the distant ceiling, and return as a faint, hollow whisper, joining the chamber's inherent silence. You move deeper, drawn by a powerful sense of history. You pass through archways that dwarf you, their edges worn smooth by time, their surfaces occasionally scarred by what looks like ancient energy bursts, faint scorch marks that hint at conflicts long past. You touch a console, its intricate design unlike anything you've ever seen. It's cold, inert, but the faint etching of controls still visible, almost inviting your touch. You run your fingers over them, imagining the hands that once operated this, the minds that conceived it. There's a subtle, almost electric tingle where the glyphs meet your skin, a ghost of residual power, or perhaps just your imagination playing tricks. The sheer emptiness here is palpable, a heavy blanket of absence, no creatures scuttling, no wind whistling, just the profound quiet of something truly dead, yet still standing. A distant rhythmic drip of water finally breaks the spell, echoing from somewhere further in, a steady, lonely beat in the heart of this silence. It's a stark reminder that even the grandest civilizations eventually yield to the slow, persistent reclamation of nature. You are walking through the dreams of giants, now just cold stone and silent air. It makes you wonder about the mark you'll leave, if any, in this vast, indifferent universe. The air hits you like a warm, wet hand, instantly different from Criteria's dry chill. It's thick, almost drinkable, saturated with the smell of damp earth, rich fungal growth, and a surprisingly sweet, slightly decaying floral note that clings to your nostrils. You can feel the humidity seeping into your suit, making the internal cooling systems work overtime. This isn't just a cave. It's a living, breathing cavity of the planet. Drip, drip, drip. That's the predominant sound here. a constant rhythmic patter of water, echoing from unseen crevices and shimmering off cavern walls. It mixes with a faint, high-pitched chirping, like thousands of tiny unseen insects, and the occasional unsettling rustle of something large moving just beyond the reach of your visor's light. The ground beneath your heavy boots is no longer solid rock, but a springy, organic mass, a mix of soil and tangled roots, giving slightly with each step. You push deeper into the passage, which narrows significantly, forcing you to turn sideways in places. Enormous, bioluminescent fungi cling to the rough-hewn rock, pulsing with a soft, eerie glow. Greens, blues, and purples, casting shifting shadows that play tricks on your eyes. Their caps are slick and cool when you brush against them, leaving a faint, sticky residue on your gloves. Thick, vibrant vines, some as wide as your forearm, hang like silent, enormous serpents from the ceiling, dripping with moisture, creating living curtains you have to duck and weave through. The walls themselves are alive. Patches of luminous moss spread across the stone like intricate carpets, soft and spongy under your touch. You notice small, crystalline formations embedded in the rock, shimmering faintly, almost like frozen tears. But even as you take in the strange beauty, there's an underlying tension. The air feels heavy with unseen presence. A sudden, deep thrum vibrates through the ground, then fades into the constant dripping, leaving an unsettling quiet that prickles the back of your neck. You instinctively raise your arm cannon, its cool weight, a familiar comfort. Every turn brings a new variation of this overwhelming organic embrace. Narrow tunnels open into vast, domed caverns, where the light from the glowing flora creates an alien twilight. The atmosphere is dense, heavy, almost oppressive in its fertility. You feel like an intruder, a metallic anomaly, in a world that thrives on pure, untamed life. It's a powerful, primal feeling, being swallowed by a living world, and you realize how small you truly are within its intricate, overwhelming design. The humid air shifts, carrying a stronger, sweeter perfume now, like overripe fruit mixed with the sharp tang of something predatory. You push aside a curtain of thick, fibrous vines, their surfaces slick with dew, and step into a clearing. Here, the Brinstar jungle truly asserts itself, vibrant and deceptively serene. Giant, pulsating flora dominates the space. You notice massive, bulbous plants, their petals slowly unfurling and retracting with a soft, wet sigh, revealing internal sacs that glow with an inviting, almost hypnotic amber light. The ground here is a riot of color, with bioluminescent mosses forming intricate patterns of electric green and deep blue beneath your feet. Your boots sink slightly into the soft, yielding soil, each step leaving a clear, temporary imprint. The chirping hum from earlier is now closer, more insistent, a dense tapestry of sound woven with the rustle of leaves and the gentle drip of moisture. But beneath it all, you pick up a new rhythm, a low, steady thrumming, like a colossal heart beating beneath the earth. It vibrates through your boots, a deep, unsettling pulse that seems to resonate with the glowing plants around you. They brighten, then dim, in sync with this unseen beat. You lean in, drawn by a cluster of smaller, intensely bright red flowers. Their scent is overwhelmingly sweet, almost cloying. As you get closer, you realize they're not just flowers. They have tiny hair-thin tendrils that twitch almost imperceptibly, reaching out, sensing. A faint, high-pitched buzz warns you just in time, and you pull your hand back as one of the tendrils snaps closed around nothing but air. The jungle isn't just beautiful, it's aggressively alive. Every plant a potential trap. Your eyes scan the dense foliage at the edges of the clearing. Shapes shift in the periphery, shadows that seem too solid, too deliberate to be just wind. You catch a glimpse of something iridescent, scuttling quickly behind a massive tree trunk, gone before you can properly focus. The sense of being watched is almost suffocating now, a subtle prickle on your skin. The air might smell sweet, and the glowing plants might be beautiful, but this place has teeth. The very air around you feels charged, a constant low-level hum of primal energy, reminding you that every breath here is taken in a world where survival is a daily, minute-by-minute negotiation. This vibrant life holds as much danger as it does wonder. The heat hits you first, a sudden, oppressive wave that feels like walking into an oven. It's dry, furnace-hot, and immediately makes your suit's internal cooling system kick into overdrive. A faint hum, now audible within your helmet. The air itself shimmers, distorted by the extreme temperature, carrying a sharp, acrid scent of sulfur and superheated rock that burns your nostrils. It's a taste you can almost feel on your tongue, metallic and bitter. Your boots, no longer sinking into soft soil, clang against rough, obsidian-like rock that radiates intense warmth even through the thick soles. The ground here is uneven, treacherous, littered with jagged shards and glowing fissures. Steam hisses violently from cracks in the floor and walls, each puff carrying with it a burst of that foul, chemical smell. You can hear it constantly. The roar and rumble of distant magma flows, a deep, primal groan from the planet's core. It's like standing inside a living volcano, its breath hot and heavy around you. The walls of this cavern glow with an ominous, fiery light. Not from artificial sources, but from veins of molten rock pulsing just beneath the surface, painting the cavern in shades of angry orange, deep red, and shimmering yellow. The light dances, flickers, casting, dancing, distorted shadows that seem to writhe and contort. You instinctively shield your visor, but the heat still presses in, an almost physical weight on your body. You advance cautiously, each step calculated. The air is so thick with heat and mineral particles that it feels almost viscous. You notice pools of bubbling, incandescent lava in hollows, their surfaces shimmering with impossible colors, throwing off waves of even more intense heat. A misplaced step here could mean immediate immolation. The ground trembles periodically, a low tremor that shakes you to your core, followed by a louder roar from deep below. It's a reminder of the immense destructive power contained within these depths. This isn't just a challenging environment. It feels actively hostile, a furnace designed to consume anything that dares to enter. Every breath, every movement is a struggle against the inferno. The relentless, searing heat presses against you, making your skin tingle even through your advanced suit. You realize you're not just exploring, you're enduring, pushing past a physical barrier that screams, "Turn back." But something in this raw, elemental power, this terrifying beauty, compels you forward, deeper into Norfair's scalding embrace. A guttural, ceaseless roar assaults your senses, a sound so immense it feels less heard and more physically felt. It's the voice of the planet's core, unleashed. The air around you isn't just hot, it's thick with searing, radiant energy, making your suit's internal cooling systems whine in protest, barely holding back the inferno from your skin. You can almost taste the metallic tang of vaporized minerals, mixed with the ever-present acrid bite of sulfur. You're standing on a narrow, precarious ledge of hardened, black rock, pitted and scarred, that trembles constantly underfoot. Below you, stretching into the hazy distance, is an undulating sea of incandescent molten rock. It pulses with an incredible, blinding light, a turbulent crimson landscape of shifting oranges and yellows, with veins of brilliant white where the heat is most extreme. Waves of liquid fire crash silently against submerged rock formations, sending plumes of superheated steam and sparks spiraling into the cavern's ceiling, which is lost in a shimmering, heat-hazed gloom. The roar isn't static. It ebbs and flows, a symphony of destruction. You hear the deep, rhythmic gurgle of unseen currents, dragging molten rock beneath the surface. the sharp hiss of new rock dissolving into the inferno, and the sudden terrifying splash of volcanic effluvia erupting in furious geysers that climb impossibly high before arcing back down into the churning abyss. Your visor automatically adjusts, trying to compensate for the overwhelming brilliance, but the heat still presses against your eyes, a burning sensation even through the advanced optics. You feel a constant, low tremor vibrating through your boots, a relentless pulse from the planet's inner workings. The very ground beneath you feels temporary, fragile. A thin crust separating you from unimaginable power. Every breath you take, even through your suit's filtration, feels shallow and heavy, burdened by the surrounding heat and the sheer density of the atmosphere. You watch, mesmerized and terrified, as a fissure opens silently on a distant rock face, spilling a new, brilliant orange river of lava that flows, inexorable, to join the greater molten ocean. There's an eerie, almost hypnotic beauty in this brutal display of elemental force. The raw, untamed power of the lava is overwhelming, a stark reminder of your own fragility. Here, life exists on the very edge of destruction, clinging to what little cool rock it can find. And you, a solitary figure of metal and will, are navigating its relentless, scorching embrace, a testament to how far a body can be pushed, how much it can endure. The cold bites at you the moment you step inside, a sharp, pervasive chill that seeps through your suit's thermal plating, making the air around you feel thin and brittle. It carries a potent, metallic tang, like old rust, mixed with the ghost of ozone and stagnant water, a taste that settles heavy on your tongue. This isn't the natural, wild cold of a mountain, but the deeper, more unsettling cold of something dead and abandoned, yet still holding its shape. Your boots ring hollowly on the slick, corroded metal floor, each step echoing through the skeletal remains of what was once a grand vessel. The lights here are dim, flickering erratically from damaged conduits, casting long, distorted shadows that writhe with every shudder of the dying ship. Twisted cables hang like severed vines from the ceiling, sparking faintly with residual energy, illuminating puddles of dark, oily water that collect in depressions in the deck plates. A faint, low groan like a ship sighing its last breath reverberates through the bulkheads, a constant, unsettling companion. You brush your gloved hand against a bulkhead. It's slick with condensation, the raw metal beneath feeling impossibly cold, its surface rough with corrosion. The air itself feels heavy, choked with the silence of a catastrophic event, broken only by the rhythmic drip of water from a cracked pipe somewhere in the darkness, and the occasional, unsettling creak of stressed metal. This place isn't just a ruin, it's a tomb. As you navigate through a narrow, collapsed corridor, you push aside a section of twisted debris. A cloud of fine, metallic dust puffs into the air, irritating your suit's filters with its sharp, coppery smell. You peer into an adjacent room, its interior, a chaotic mess of overturned consoles and shattered screens, data flickering across dead monitors like spectral eyes. There's an emptiness here, a profound absence of purpose that feels heavier than any physical weight. It's a place where systems failed, and lives were lost, now only whispers in the wind. The path eventually opens into a larger chamber, once a bustling cargo bay, now a cavernous maw of shredded metal. Strange, bioluminescent fungi have begun to colonize the wreck, their soft, ghostly glow adding an unnatural, eerie beauty to the desolation, clinging to mangled machinery like parasitic jewels. But even this new life feels alien and cold, a slow, patient reclamation of what was once a bastion of technology. You stand there, a lone figure in the chill, realizing that some endings are far more chilling than any immediate destruction, leaving behind only the cold, hard memory of what once was. The air around you hangs heavy and still, thick with the pungent aroma of old rust and a chilling, earthy dampness that speaks of long stagnant water. You step down into a flooded corridor, the frigid liquid immediately rising above your boots, sending a sharp, icy shock through your suit's thermal defenses. It coats your lower legs with an invisible slimy film, and you can almost feel the chill seeping into your bones, a stark contrast to the burning heat of Norfair. Each step sends ripples across the murky surface, disturbing unseen debris and stirring up the metallic scent further. The water itself is dark, almost opaque, reflecting the dim, flickering emergency lights from above in distorted, wavering streaks. You can't see the bottom, only feel the uneven, slippery textures beneath your feet. Loose plating, submerged cables, and something soft and organic that squishes with an unsettling squelch. The subtle plinks and plonks of water dripping from overhead pipes are amplified by the liquid medium, creating a disorienting symphony of decay. You reach out, bracing yourself against a wall that was once pristine, but is now a mosaic of orange and brown corrosion. Your gloved hand comes away stained with fine, gritty rust particles, feeling like powdered metal against the synth skin of your suit. Twisted pipes, burst open, lie half submerged, their exposed interiors choked with green, mossy growths. The silence here is profound, broken only by your movements and the whispers of the dying ship. It's a silence that suggests not absence, but rather a slow, deliberate surrender. Ahead, a larger chamber opens, its ceiling partially collapsed into the water, creating a bizarre, drowned landscape of shattered technology and encroaching alien life. Bioluminescent algae bloom in vibrant, eerie patches beneath the surface, casting a spectral glow upwards through the gloom, illuminating strange, sinuous shapes moving slowly in the currents you create. You catch a glimpse of something long and dark, an unknown creature, darting away from your approaching light, disturbing the water with a silent, swift displacement. The chill persists, unrelenting, making your hands feel slightly sluggish as you grip your arm cannon. This place is a monument to a past disaster, a ship that died a slow, cold death, its metallic shell now succumbing to the relentless embrace of water and time. You move through it, an alien presence in an alien tomb, and you can't help but wonder how long it takes for all things, even immense vessels and grand ambitions, to fade into this kind of cold, corroded memory. The crushing weight of the water presses in on you from all sides, a constant, pervasive force that feels like a colossal hand squeezing your suit. Your internal pressure regulators hum a steady, strained counter-melody, working overtime to prevent your armor from collapsing around you. The water itself is frigid, a deep, ancient cold that permeates through the thickest plating, making your extremities tingle. In your filtered breath, there's a faint, briny taste, a reminder of the immense, alien ocean that surrounds you. You move through the dense liquid, each movement slow and deliberate, requiring a conscious effort against the inherent drag. The beam from your visor's light cuts a narrow path through the murky depths, revealing massive, alien kelp forests swaying gently in unseen currents. Their fronds are thick, leathery, glowing with a soft, pulsing violet light that casts shifting shadows on the cavernous walls. When you brush against them, they feel strangely firm yet pliable, leaving a fleeting trail of microscopic bioluminescent particles that sparkle like underwater dust. The silence here is profound, broken only by the rhythmic whoosh of your suit's thrusters, the distant clicks and whistles of unseen aquatic life, and the persistent, low groan of the seabed shifting far below. Your eyes strain, trying to pierce the gloom that stretches beyond your light's reach. You catch glimpses of colossal, strangely textured rock formations, encrusted with shimmering crystalline growths, their surfaces slick and cold to the touch. This isn't just water, It's a world, utterly alien and impossibly vast. Suddenly, a powerful current grabs you, pulling you violently sideways. You fight against it, thrusters flaring, muscles tensing under the suit's layers, feeling the water clawing at your armored form. You spin, catching sight of something immense and dark disappearing into the abyssal murk, its passage leaving a swirling eddy in its wake. Was it a leviathan, or just a trick of the light? And the crushing pressure, the brief, disorienting chaos leaves your heart hammering against your ribs, the metallic taste in your mouth more pronounced. You regain control, your breath coming in shallow, ragged bursts. The weight of the water settles around you again, a tangible presence. This dark, cold world demands constant vigilance, a battle for every inch, every moment. It's a reminder of how utterly insignificant you are, a speck of warmth and purpose in an ocean of ancient, indifferent cold. And yet, you adapt, you move, becoming a part of its silent, crushing rhythm, a strange fish in an even stranger sea. The silence here isn't just an absence of sound. It's a palpable presence, heavy and ancient, pressing in on your eardrums. The briny taste in your filtered air feels sharper now, mingling with a faint, mineral tang. The immense pressure of the ocean depth is a constant, unyielding embrace, not just on your suit, but deep within your bones, a low, resonant thrum that never fully fades. Your suit's life support systems whine a tireless countersong, struggling against the unimaginable forces outside. Your beam cuts through the abyssal gloom, a single defiant lance of light in a universe of fluid darkness. It illuminates massive, alien corals that rise like petrified trees from the seabed, their branches encrusted with iridescent, glowing polyps that pulse with a soft, internal luminescence. They seem to breathe, slowly expanding and contracting in the sluggish currents. You reach out, your gloved fingers brushing against a particularly large coral formation. Its surface is strangely rough, like calcified moss, yet radiates an almost imperceptible chill through your suit. Your movements are fluid but measured, each kick of your thrusters sending you gliding through the viscous depths. Below your heavy boots, the seabed is a carpet of fine, dark sediment, shifting gently with every ripple you create. You hear the faint, distant clicks and whistles of unseen life forms, like a secret language echoing through the vastness, never quite close enough to identify, always just beyond the fringe of your vision. It's a world teeming with hidden eyes, silent witnesses to your slow, methodical progress. Ahead, the beam from your visor seems to simply dissolve into an impenetrable wall of darkness, suggesting a chasm or an even greater, light-absorbing void. You push forward, the sense of vast, unseen space around you growing stronger, almost claustrophobic in its enormity. Shapes begin to emerge from the periphery, colossal structures in the distance that might be natural rock formations, or something far more imposing, their outlines distorted by the water's density, like giants sleeping in the perpetual twilight. The sheer scale here is humbling, overwhelming. You pause, letting your thrusters idle. The hum of your suit is the loudest sound now, a fragile bubble of manufactured life. You feel a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the water pressure around you, a fleeting sensation like something massive has just passed by, silently, just out of sight. It leaves a residual chill, a prickle on your skin that your suit can't entirely negate. This alien ocean doesn't scream. It whispers with its vastness, its ancient cold, and the knowledge of things that lurk in the endless dark, reminding you that true power often moves in silence. A high-pitched shriek rips through the air, impossibly close, just as a searing bolt of crimson energy slams into your deflective shield. The impact sends a jarring vibration through your entire suit, rattling your teeth, and the air around you fills with the acrid smell of burnt ozone, sharp and metallic. You don't just hear the blast, you feel it, a blunt force trauma that makes your internal systems flicker warnings across your visor. Before you can even fully register the first hit, another wave of hostile energy is already inbound, streaking towards you with unnerving speed. Your reflexes take over. You sidestep, a blur of heavy armor, the projectiles carving molten gouges into the rock wall where you stood moments before. The sound of superheated stone cracking echoes, mixing with the frantic chittering of your unseen attackers. You track their movement, a swarm of iridescent insectoid creatures, their many legs clattering on the cavern floor, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. Your arm cannon pulses, a familiar weight in your hand, and you unleash a volley of rapid-fire energy bolts. Each shot rips through the air with a distinct, resonant crack, impacting the creatures with explosive force. They burst in showers of green ichor and shattered carapace, the sprays of organic matter splattering against the cave walls, and your suit with wet, sickening thuds. The smell of their burning forms adds a new, foul dimension to the air, like scorched meat and bitter chemicals. You pivot, a smooth, practiced motion, as a larger, more resilient foe barrels towards you, its armored head lowered like a ram. You hear its guttural roar, a sound of raw, unthinking aggression, before it slams into your side. Your suit groans under the impact, your footing momentarily lost, and a sharp pain shoots up your leg. Alarms blare in your helmet, urgent beeps telling you systems are strained, plating compromised. You shove back, gritting your teeth. The sheer force of its momentum, a tangible weight against you. With a surge of adrenaline, you twist, bringing your cannon to bear at point-blank range, unleashing a charged blast that detonates against its hardened hide. The explosion is deafening, concussive, vibrating through your entire body. The creature lets out a dying shriek, a sound that ends in a wet gurgle as it collapses, its heavy bulk sending tremors through the ground. The cacophony slowly fades, replaced by the crackle of residual energy, the dripping of organic fluids, and your own ragged breathing, amplified in your helmet. Your body hums with residual tension, every muscle coiled, ready for the next assault. The air still smells of battle, thick and heavy. This isn't about thought or strategy, not really. It's about instinct, pure and brutal, a dance of survival where the only language is violence. And for now, you understand it perfectly. A blinding flash of purple energy erupts from a shadowy crevice, slamming into your left shoulder with a sickening thud. The heat from the impact is instantaneous, searing through your suit's outer plating, making the internal temperature spike dramatically. A sharp, stinging pain blossoms beneath the armor, and the metallic taste of adrenaline floods your mouth, mingling with the fresh, burnt plastic smell of overloaded circuits. Your vision flickers, a momentary whiteout, as your shield matrix struggles to compensate. Before the echoes of the blast can fully dissipate, you're already in motion. Your body, despite the shock, reacts with honed precision. You drop, sliding across the rough, grimy floor as another volley of plasma bolts sizzles harmlessly over your head, melting tiny divots in the ceiling above. The roar of the unknown assailant is a guttural, multi-toned shriek, a sound of pure, alien fury that rattles your helmet. It's close, too close. Your arm cannon is a conduit of raw power. You unleash a sustained burst of charged plasma, the air around you crackling with the violent energy discharge. The bright, orange-hot stream carves a path through the darkness, impacting something large and unseen, with a series of wet, rending thuds. A shriek, sharper and more pained this time, tears through the chamber, followed by the clatter of heavy scales or plates hitting the ground. The smell of burning flesh, thick and oily, replaces the ozone. You roll to your feet, your suit's servos humming, your heart hammering against your ribs like a drum. The pain in your shoulder is a constant, throbbing pulse, but it fuels a cold, focused determination. Your movements are economical, precise, every ounce of your being dedicated to survival. You dodge another lunge, the creature's immense, clawed hand missing you by mere inches, the wind of its passage stirring the stale air. You feel the faint, vibrating tremor of its heavy footsteps on the rock. A quick burst of smaller energy pellets stuns it, making it recoil with a hiss. This is your chance. You channel all available power to your cannon, the internal mechanisms groaning under the strain. The air grows hot around the barrel as a concentrated beam of raw, unstable energy coalesces. With a final, explosive roar that shakes the very ground, you unleash the blast. It hits the creature head-on, a sickening crunch, and it erupts in a shower of sparks, smoke, and disintegrating organic matter, its death cry echoing as a final, gurgling rasp. Then, silence. The ringing in your ears slowly fades, replaced by the persistent, soft whir of your suit's systems and your own harsh, ragged breaths. The adrenaline slowly begins to recede, leaving behind a profound exhaustion, but also a stark, undeniable sense of victory. The air still smells of plasma and death, but for now, you have bought yourself another moment, another breath. That's all you ever really fight for out here. You step into a small, perfectly circular chamber, the air within strangely still and resonant. In the very center, hovering silently above a moss-covered pedestal, is a pulsating orb of pure, shimmering energy. It glows with an intense, inviting cerulean light, humming with a low-frequency vibration that you can feel more than hear, a deep thrumming that resonates in your chest, even through your suit. The air around it crackles faintly, carrying a clean, almost sterile scent, a stark contrast to the organic decay of the jungle outside. You approach cautiously, your boots making no sound on the ancient stone. As you draw closer, the hum intensifies, becoming a high-pitched whine that vibrates in your helmet. The light from the orb washes over your armor, and you feel an undeniable pull, a magnetic resonance deep within your suit's core. This isn't just an artifact. It feels alive, a concentrated knot of raw power waiting to be unleashed. You reach out, your gloved hand extending slowly towards the glowing sphere. The moment your fingertips brush its surface, a blinding flash of energy erupts, engulfing you completely. It's not painful, but intensely overwhelming. A searing jolt courses through your entire being, a violent, electrifying surge that feels like every circuit in your suit and every nerve in your body is suddenly overloaded. Your vision whites out for a second, then explodes into a kaleidoscope of internal diagnostics, systems flashing red, then green, then a vibrant, new blue. You feel it, a profound, almost agonizing expansion. It's like a rush of ice-cold water, then a wave of pure heat, spreading from the point of contact, surging through your power conduits, strengthening your shield matrix, amplifying your arm cannon's core. Your muscles clench, involuntary, as the suit's internal structure reconfigures itself around you, a series of audible clicks and groans as new armor segments lock into place. Systems integrate. You feel a new weight, a new density, yet also an effortless lightness in your limbs, an exhilarating surge of potential. The hum within your suit changes, deepening, becoming a powerful, steady roar. Your arm cannon feels denser, heavier, its internal coils glowing with a fierce, unstable energy. You clench your fist, and the sheer power flowing through you is almost dizzying. The old aches and fatigue from battles past seem to recede, replaced by a vibrant, restless energy. Your enhanced sensors pick up distant, minute vibrations in the earth, sounds that were previously beyond your perception. You stand taller, your posture unconsciously shifting, the power now an integral part of you. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a metamorphosis. The universe feels sharper, more responsive, as if a veil has been lifted. It's a strange sensation, this merging with cold, hard technology, yet it makes you feel more alive, more capable. This integration of steel and will, it's what defines you, transforming mere survival into something akin to purpose. The raw energy from the power-up isn't just a jolt anymore. It's a deep, resonating hum that has settled into the very core of your suit, making the plating feel like a second skin, seamlessly integrated. You flex your fingers, and the heavy arm cannon responds with an almost prescient speed, a subtle surge of heat radiating from its barrel. The air, previously dense and threatening, now feels less oppressive. Your suit's environmental systems operating with an efficiency that borders on effortless, cooling or warming with seamless precision. You push off the ground, a familiar jump, but this time you soar higher, further, with a grace that surprises even you. The landing is cushioned, almost silent, your enhanced shock absorbers absorbing the impact with ease. The old strains in your muscles, the lingering fatigue from endless combat, have receded, replaced by a vibrant, almost restless energy that hums beneath your armor. It's like your body has finally caught up to your will, a perfect fusion of organic and technological. Your visors display shifts, new data streams flowing, offering enhanced tactical readouts, environmental analyses, and an almost intuitive understanding of the alien terrain. The faintest rustle of hidden creatures, previously muffled, now registers as a distinct signal. The distant drip of water, the subtle currents in the air, all sharpened, brought into focus. The world around you isn't just seen, it's perceived on a deeper, more intricate level. You move through a narrow, winding tunnel, where before you might have scraped against the rock, now you glide, your form subtly adjusting to the contours with fluid precision. You encounter a previously impassable wall, its material too dense, too resistant to your former weapons. Now, a flicker of thought, a surge of power, and your arm cannon pulses with a fierce, concentrated energy, its color deepening to an angry violet. You unleash a blast, and the rock disintegrates, not with a struggle, but with an almost surgical precision, opening a new path. The scent of pulverized minerals fills the air, clean and sharp, a testament to your newfound capability. There's a quiet satisfaction in this evolution, this constant becoming. It's a solitary journey, this forging of self, in the crucible of an alien world. No one sees your silent struggles, your small victories, the way your body and suit reshape themselves to the demands of survival. This world, in its relentless hostility, is also your greatest teacher, pushing you, grinding away weaknesses, forcing you to adapt, to grow. You realize that true strength isn't just measured in power, but in the relentless, isolated act of transforming to meet every new challenge. Every wound, every triumph builds upon the last, making you something more, something new, forged alone in the dark. The persistent hum of your suit's cooling systems feels less like efficiency and more like a feverish struggle now. The air, despite its filtration, carries a faint, stale metallic scent, like old blood mixed with dust, clinging to the back of your throat. A dull ache throbs deep in your left knee, a memory of an old impact, making every step a conscious effort. It's a subtle, insidious kind of pain, not sharp, but a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that seems to seep from the very armor you wear. You lean against a cold, slick rock face, its rough texture chilling your hand, even through the glove. Your arm cannon feels heavier than usual, its once vibrant hum now a low, strained thrum. When you try to flex your arm, the servo motors respond with a faint, grating protest. A sound only audible through your internal comms. A private confession of weariness. The power conduits within your suit feel sluggish. The flow of energy not as crisp, not as immediate as it once was. You can almost feel the grit and strain in the gears, the microscopic fractures in the plating. Your vision, typically crystal clear, has a faint, almost imperceptible shimmer at the edges, like heat haze. Your internal diagnostics flicker, a faint yellow warning light occasionally catching your attention, easily dismissed but persistently there. The cold, hard reality is that your suit, your protective shell, is tired. It's been battered, bruised, scorched, and frozen, a constant companion through unimaginable stresses. And now, it's starting to show its age, its weariness becoming an extension of your own. You move forward, each footfall a little heavier, a little less certain than before. The rhythmic click-clack of your boots on the stone is less a confident stride and more a methodical plod. You find yourself taking pauses, leaning against walls, just for a moment to let the subtle tremors in your joints subside. The alien landscape around you, whether it's the dripping jungle or the desolate caverns, feels less like a challenge and more like an endless indifferent march. A sudden, sharp ping from your suit's internal comms, a small warning of a system imbalance, makes you flinch. It's not a critical error, just another indication of the slow, creeping deterioration. You suppress a sigh. This suit isn't just armor. It's a second body, an extension of your will, and its slow ache has become your own. It's a reminder that even the strongest defenses eventually wear down, that even the most resilient spirit carries the scars of its journey. And in this solitude, you and your suit are experiencing it together, a silent, shared burden of persistent endurance. A persistent gnawing emptiness has taken root deep in your gut, a sensation that even your suit's nutrient paste can't fully quell. It's not just physical hunger. It's a deep, systemic craving, a demand from every cell in your body for raw, unadulterated energy. The filtered air tastes thin, unsatisfying, and your tongue feels strangely dry. A low, continuous growl, a rumble that feels less like digestion and more like an internal alarm, emanates from your stomach. Your steps feel heavier now, each movement requiring a conscious exertion that wasn't there before. The rhythm of your breathing, regulated by your suit, feels just a fraction too fast, too shallow. You lean against a jagged rock face. Its cold, indifferent surface doing little to soothe the internal tremor that runs through your limbs. Your focus, usually razor-sharp, has developed a subtle, wavering quality, making the intricate details of the alien environment blur at the periphery of your vision. The vibrant colors of the glowing fungi and flora, once captivating, now seem dull, muted, almost uninteresting. Your senses, dulled by the pervasive hunger, struggle to extract meaning from the constant inputs. The familiar hum of your suit's power core seems more distant, less reliable, as if its own energy reserves are mirroring your body's depletion. You find yourself scanning the terrain not for threats or pathways, but almost instinctively for anything that might offer sustenance, a desperate, primal urge overriding all else. Your arm cannon, usually a source of reassuring weight, now feels like an unwieldy burden. When you try to aim, there's a faint, almost imperceptible tremor in your hand, a struggle to hold steady. The internal readings on your visor, usually a source of calm, organized data, now prominently display flickering energy reserves, a silent, urgent countdown. The quiet drip of water from a nearby stalactite, once a neutral sound, now seems to mock the parched sensation in your throat. The isolation of this world amplifies the hunger, transforming it from a mere discomfort into a potent, all-consuming presence. You're alone, truly alone, with nothing but your suit and your failing body to rely on. This isn't just about finding the next power-up or the next objective. It's about the fundamental, relentless demand for continued existence. You realize that beneath all the technology, all the power, you are still just a biological being, tethered to the most basic primal needs. And in the vast, indifferent void, that vulnerability is the sharpest edge of all. A high-pitched, almost mechanical wail cuts through the perpetual hum of the depths, piercing the very membrane of your suit and resonating deep within your skull. It's not just a sound. It's a primal, alien cry that feels like a cold, invisible hand gripping your heart. The frigid water around you seems to grow even colder. A sudden, sharp drop in temperature that makes your internal heating system strain and shudder. A profound, sickening cold washes over you. Not just the temperature of the water, but something far deeper, a parasitic chill that seems to seep into your very essence. Your suit's systems shriek, a low, desperate alarm echoing in your helmet as energy bars on your display visibly plummet, one after another, at an alarming rate. It's like a phantom limb, the sudden, violent loss of strength, a gaping void where power once flowed. You feel a sudden, debilitating weakness in your limbs, making your muscles feel heavy, sluggish, almost unwilling to obey. Through the murky water, illuminated by your failing visor light, you catch a glimpse of it. A gelatinous bell, pulsating with a sickly, ethereal green glow, drifts with an unnatural, terrifying grace. 4 dark, ominous nuclei pulse within its translucent body, like malevolent eyes, fixing on you. It moves silently, utterly without effort, its tendrils, once unseen, now faintly visible, reaching, searching. There is no sound from its movement, only the echo of its haunting cry, still reverberating in your mind, and the frantic, internal alarms of your dying suit. You try to move, to bring your arm cannon to bear, but your movements are slow, hampered, as if the water itself has turned to thick syrup. The draining sensation is overwhelming, a constant siphoning of your life force, leaving you weak, vulnerable. You feel lightheaded, a dull ache blooming behind your eyes, a terrifying recognition of what is happening. This creature isn't attacking with plasma or claws. It's simply taking. It's a predator of energy, an ancient living siphon. The sheer, chilling effectiveness of it is terrifying. Your powerful suit, your advanced weaponry, are rendered almost useless against this silent, profound drain. You are reduced to a biological being, watching your very essence being stripped away. The cold, the weakness, the panic, it all converges into a singular, desperate fight for survival. This isn't just an enemy. It's an existential threat, a reminder that some horrors don't destroy with violence, but with an insidious, chilling hunger that leaves you emptied, a mere husk. And in that terrifying moment, you realize the true vulnerability of even the most powerful. The metallic taste of fear is still sharp on your tongue, and the phantom chill of energy drain still prickles your skin. But then, a different sensation, a faint, biological pulse, erratic and weak, vibrates through the frigid water, not aggressive, but hesitant. Your suit's combat systems, still on high alert, register no immediate threat. The frantic alarms of moments ago have settled into a low, questioning hum. You push forward, cautiously, your arm cannon held ready, but your movements are slower, less driven by the immediate need to strike. Through the swirling murk, illuminated by your visor's beam, you catch sight of it again. Not a charging, energy-sapping leviathan, but something far smaller, drifting aimlessly. Its translucent, bell-like body, instead of pulsing with a malevolent green, shimmers with a faint, almost sickly yellow. The 4 dark nuclei within, once piercing, now seem dull, unfocused, like eyes struggling to see. It bumps gently against a pillar of alien coral, its tendrils, once reaching, now retracting, Clinging close to its fragile form, it looks lost. As you draw closer, you notice the subtle scars on its delicate membrane, faint evidence of struggles it has already endured. This isn't the apex predator you've been trained to fear, the galactic menace of countless reports. This is an infant, fragile and alone in the crushing depths, driven only by the most fundamental, desperate instinct to feed, to survive. It emits another cry, not the piercing wail that drains your strength, but a tiny, almost desperate sound that seems to echo with profound loneliness, a sound that speaks of profound, innate need. Your hand, still gripping the arm cannon, remains inert. The burning urge to destroy, to neutralize the threat, simply isn't there. Instead, a strange, unfamiliar ache settles deep in your chest, something akin to pity, or, perhaps, a chilling recognition. This creature, feared across star systems, is merely a product of its own biology, a pawn in a universe that cares nothing for its individual existence, forcing it into a role it cannot choose. It drifts away from the coral, slowly, weakly, its small body oscillating with a heartbreaking vulnerability. You watch it disappear into the endless dark, a fleeting echo of life in an indifferent void. The cold of the water, the dull ache in your muscles, the lingering metallic taste, they all seem secondary now. This encounter, this glimpse into the raw, unthinking struggle of a creature deemed a monster, leaves a deeper imprint than any blast or impact. You realize that even in the vastness of space, amidst grand conflicts, sometimes the most profound truth is found in the quiet, fragile humanity of simply recognizing another living thing's struggle. The galaxy's greatest threat, reduced to a desperate child. What a strange, unsettling clarity. The air around you ignites. A sudden, scorching wave of heat blasts into your visor, instantly overwhelming your suit's thermal regulators and making the metal hum with desperate strain. The smell is immediate and horrifying. Superheated ozone mixed with the acrid stench of burnt rock and something deeply, unnaturally sulfuric. It's like breathing fire, a taste of pure, destructive power that burns your throat even through filtration. A guttural, triumphant shriek, a sound that feels as old as terror itself, rips through the cavern, echoing off the jagged obsidian walls. Your internal comms translated as a chaotic mix of fury and savage glee. You feel the ground shudder violently beneath your boots as something colossal slams down, its immense weight sending tremors through the entire chamber. Above you, an orange-red glow intensifies, casting flickering, demonic shadows that dance on every surface. Then you see it. Two immense, malevolent eyes, burning with an unholy intelligence, lock onto you from the oppressive gloom. They are not merely seeing. They are judging, relishing the moment. Its scaled form is colossal, a creature of nightmare made flesh, its leathery wings stirring the superheated air into a violent vortex. Its taloned foot scrapes against the rock, a harsh, grating sound that makes your teeth ache. This isn't just a monster. It's a living engine of destruction, a being that thrives on chaos. It unfurls its vast wings, a sound like tearing canvas, and lunges. The sheer force of its movement creates a powerful suction, threatening to rip you from your feet. You brace yourself, your arm cannon instinctively snapping up. A torrent of searing plasma erupts from its maw, a blistering wave of pure, concentrated fire. You dodge, rolling violently, feeling the intense heat wash over your suit, the metal plating groaning under the thermal assault. Your shield matrix screams, rapidly depleting under the barrage. The air is thick with the smell of plasma and burning rock, your vision swimming with the intense, flickering light of the creature's attacks. Each step it takes, each beat of its titanic wings, sends shockwaves through the chamber, making loose debris rain down from the ceiling. You feel the constant, crushing pressure of its presence, an overwhelming force of pure, destructive will. This isn't just a fight. It's a desperate struggle against an ancient living embodiment of wrath. Your suit strains, your body screams, but a cold, hard resolve settles deep within you. This is the moment. This is what you were built for. The air still shimmers, superheated and thick with the acrid stench of burnt scales, scorched rock, and a lingering metallic tang of ozone. Ridley's final, guttural scream has faded into a chilling silence, but the echoes of its fury still reverberate in the deep, primal chambers of your mind. Your suit's thermal regulators whine, slowly bringing the internal temperature down, yet a deep, persistent heat continues to emanate from the battered plating on your right side, a tangible reminder of plasma's kiss. You stand amidst the wreckage, your heavy boots crunching on shattered fragments of obsidian-like rock and scattered, still smoking pieces of chitinous armor. The cavern itself groans, a low, resonant tremor that could be the settling earth, or merely the aftershocks of the titanic battle you just survived. Your arm cannon, still warm, feels almost heavy, its power core thrumming with a tired, deep pulse. You lower it, the motion more a gesture of exhaustion than triumph. A dull, throbbing ache blooms behind your eyes, a headache born from the sheer concussive force of the fight. Every muscle in your body feels like lead, screaming in protest, and a profound weariness settles over you, sinking into your bones. You lean a trembling hand against a jagged wall, its rough surface cool against your gloved palm, but the tremors in your fingers persist. Your internal diagnostics flash yellow warnings across your visor. Shield integrity at critical, thermal regulators overtaxed, power conduit strained. You're bruised, battered, but unbelievably still standing. You close your eyes for a brief moment, and the image is there again. Those immense, malevolent eyes burning with unholy intelligence, the raw, destructive power of its breath. It's a memory that claws at the edge of your consciousness, a primal terror that even victory can't fully erase. The sheer scale of its wrath, the relentless savagery, has left an indelible mark, a cold, hard knot in your gut. This creature wasn't just an enemy, it was an entity woven from pure, unadulterated fear. The silence that follows the battle is thick, almost oppressive. It's not peaceful, but a heavy, watchful quiet, as if the cavern itself is holding its breath, absorbing the aftermath. The lingering scent of sulfur and charred biomass clings to everything, a visceral reminder of the carnage. You push off the wall, forcing one leaden foot in front of the other. Each movement is a testament to sheer will, a defiance of the exhaustion that threatens to pull you down. You're alive. You survived the unyielding terror. But you also know that something inside you has shifted, been scored by the sheer intensity of that encounter. The memory of its scorching breath, its hateful eyes, will be a permanent resident in your mind, a constant echo of the edge you walked. To face such primal fury and emerge means you are changed, carrying not just the physical scars but the far deeper, subtler imprints of absolute terror. And as you walk on, you wonder how long it truly takes for the echoes of such a fight to finally fade. A soft, pervasive hum wraps around you the moment you step into the chamber. Not quite audible, but felt deep in your bones. A low, resonant vibration that instantly soothes the frantic pulse of your suit's internal systems. The air here is cool, surprisingly fresh, carrying a faint, clean scent of polished stone and something akin to dormant energy. A smell that hints at unimaginable power, held in perfect repose. After the acrid combat and the crushing depths, this feels like a balm, a quiet exhale. Your heavy boots land almost silently on the smooth, polished stone floor, its surface cool and incredibly smooth underfoot. This isn't the rough-hewn rock of caverns or the corroded metal of derelict ships. This is architecture, ancient and profound. Massive, sweeping arches of impossibly white, almost translucent material curve gracefully overhead, reaching toward a vaulted ceiling that seems to absorb all light, yet allows a gentle, inner glow to emanate from its intricate patterns. You reach out, your gloved hand tracing the lines of a wall covered in exquisite, geometric carvings. The stone feels cool, almost alive, and you detect a subtle, rhythmic throb beneath your palm, a faint, harmonic pulse that aligns with the pervasive hum. It's as if the very structure is breathing, a colossal, dormant organism. Within the carvings, tiny, luminous crystals are embedded, pulsing with a soft, warm light that seems to chase away the shadows, illuminating subtle details you might otherwise miss. Water flows somewhere nearby, a gentle, melodic trickle that blends seamlessly with the deeper hum. It's not the frantic drip of a decaying wreck or the powerful currents of an alien ocean, but a controlled, peaceful sound, suggesting purpose and careful design. You follow the sound, turning a corner into a wide, open space. In the center, a pool of perfectly still, crystalline water reflects the glowing ceiling, its surface unbroken, like a window to another dimension. You catch a glimpse of your own armored reflection, a solitary figure in a place of immense, quiet power. Your internal diagnostics, usually a barrage of information, have softened, the readings stable, almost serene. The persistent ache in your knee, the phantom chill of the Metroid, even the searing memory of Ridley, all seem to recede into the background, dulled by the pervasive tranquility. This place isn't just a ruin, it's a sanctuary, a testament to a civilization that understood harmony on a cosmic scale. You feel a profound sense of peace here, a quiet awe at the wisdom that shaped these walls. It's a moment of stillness, a reminder that even in the most chaotic of journeys, there can be unexpected pockets of perfect, resonant calm. The air here wraps around you like a gentle embrace, cool and utterly pristine, carrying a subtle, sweet earthiness that speaks of purified origins, a world meticulously balanced. Your boots glide silently over the floor, which shifts from polished stone to sections of intricate mosaic-like patterns, each tile vibrating with a faint, almost imperceptible warmth underfoot. This isn't just a building, it feels like a living testament to a profound guiding wisdom. You find yourself in a vast rotunda, its domed ceiling arching impossibly high, adorned with murals that seem to breathe. These aren't depictions of conflict or power, but of celestial bodies and flowing cosmic energy, of intricate ecosystems and myriad creatures living in serene balance. You run a gloved hand over the lowest edge of one mural, tracing the fluid lines of a star chart. The colors are incredibly vibrant, somehow untouched by millennia, and beneath your palm you detect a subtle, harmonic pulse, like a slow, steady heartbeat within the very stone. It's a feeling of deep serenity, a quiet knowing that seems to emanate from the very walls, a whispered assurance. In the center of the rotunda, a series of gleaming crystalline pillars rise, perfectly symmetrical, converging at a point far above. As you approach them, a soft ethereal chime resonates, not jarring, but a cascade of pure, clear tones that wash over you, calming the latent tension in your muscles and soothing the persistent hum of your overtaxed suit. Your internal suit diagnostics register a subtle surge of ambient, benign energy, a field of restorative power that gently recalibrates your systems, easing the lingering aches and fatigue from battles past. It feels like a silent, welcoming gesture, a hand extended across time, You move to a console, its intricate design unlike anything you've seen. It's inert, but the faint etchings on its surface depict not weapons or defenses, but stylized representations of nurturing hands, of growing flora reaching for light, of diverse species thriving in harmony. The console itself radiates a residual warmth, a ghost of its former purpose, suggesting it was once a hub for learning, for healing, for the gentle stewardship of life. The soft, rhythmic sound of clean, flowing water becomes more pronounced, leading your gaze to a series of intricate channels carved into the floor, carrying a shimmering, life-giving liquid to unseen destinations, a testament to careful preservation. This isn't merely a ruin. It's a space imbued with the silent echoes of a civilization that fostered life, protected knowledge, and sought a profound balance with the universe. You feel a deep sense of connection here, a quiet awe at the scale of their benevolence, stretching across vast gulfs of time and absence. It's a powerful reminder that even when the builders are long gone, their deepest intentions can still resonate, offering a fleeting glimpse of hope, a gentle whisper of what advanced beings can truly achieve, if their purpose is pure. You stand in this quiet space, feeling a strange blend of loneliness and profound comfort, realizing that the greatest legacies are not always those of conquest, but of quiet, enduring wisdom. A dry, metallic taste coats your tongue, sharp and persistent, like old battery acid mixed with rust. It's not a flavor from the outside world, but an internal warning, a signal from your own failing systems. The air, usually crisp and filtered, feels thin, almost stale, as the life support hums with a faint, strained whine, a whisper of its former efficiency. Your helmet's internal temperature feels slightly off, struggling to maintain its equilibrium against the ambient cold of the cavern. You lift your arm cannon. Its weight still substantial, but there's a distinct, unnerving lightness within its core. When you attempt a diagnostic, the internal display flickers. The bars for your main energy weapon and missile reserves, starkly, painfully low, glowing with an angry red. The usually robust click of its internal mechanisms now sounds hollow, almost reluctant. You try a quick, low-power shot at a distant rock, and the beam that erupts is weaker, sputtering, its vibrant energy dulled, dissipating quickly into the shadows with a faint, pitiful hiss. Each shot now feels like a profound sacrifice, a conscious expenditure of dwindling potential. Your heavy boots clang against the damp rock, the sound echoing a little too loudly in the quiet passages. You move with a conscious slowness, conserving every ounce of energy. The powerful jumps and agile rolls you once executed effortlessly now require deliberate effort, your suit's servo motors responding with a low, almost grinding protest. There are no spare charges, no surplus power to waste on unnecessary movement. Every step, every scan, every breath feels measured, a part of a silent, desperate calculus. The bioluminescent flora around you, normally a source of light and even comfort, now seem to absorb more energy than they give, their glow dim, muted. You scan a cluster of energy-rich crystals embedded in the wall, your suit's sensors emitting a faint, hungry ping. But they are too few, too scattered. Not enough to truly matter. The metallic taste in your mouth intensifies, a constant, gnawing reminder of your vulnerability. You find yourself constantly checking your energy reserves, a nervous tick, watching the numbers tick down with a growing sense of dread. This isn't just about being careful. It's about a raw, primal awareness of limits. The fear isn't of an immediate attack, but of the slow, inevitable creep of powerlessness, the terrifying thought of being stranded, a mere human inside a metal shell, with nothing left to fight. The void of this alien world feels larger, more indifferent now, its dangers amplified by your own dwindling strength. It's a bitter truth, this dependence on a suit that is slowly, surely running on empty, leaving you to wonder how much longer your will alone can sustain you against a hostile universe that cares nothing for your fight. The dull, persistent ache of hunger gnaws at your gut, a low-level hum of discomfort that underlies every other sensation. The metallic taste in your filtered air is now a constant, almost bitter reminder of your dwindling reserves. Your suit's power core whines faintly, not with the robust thrum of full power, but a thinner, more fragile sound, mirroring the internal depletion you feel. Every movement is a careful negotiation, each step a deliberate choice to conserve precious energy. You've located a cache, a small hidden alcove glowing with the familiar, inviting pulses of energy pellets. But getting to it isn't easy. A swarm of iridescent, venomous-looking insects guard the narrow entrance, their high-pitched chittering a frantic, agitated warning. You estimate their numbers, the potential damage they could inflict, and the agonizing cost of each energy shot required to clear them. It's a bitter calculation. How much do you spend to gain what you need? Your arm cannon feels heavy, its power low. You take a breath, the air thin and unsatisfying, and unleash a quick, economical burst of fire. The shots are weaker than usual, the plasma stream sputtering at its edges, but they connect, exploding into a shower of green ichor and shattered chitin. The acrid smell of burnt insect matter fills the air, mingling with the metallic tang of your own suit's strained systems. The swarm, though diminished, retaliates with furious aggression, their tiny razor-sharp barbs deflecting off your shield, each impact a small, jarring thud that drains more precious power. You push forward, ignoring the internal warnings, forcing your body to move faster, more violently than your dwindling energy suggests you should. You feel the strain in your muscles, the subtle tremble in your hands, as you fire another volley, then another. Finally, the last of the creatures falls, its dying chitter fading into a chilling silence. The passage is clear, but the cost has been significant. Your shield matrix is nearly depleted, and your main weapon reserves are even lower than before. You stumble into the alcove, the sight of the glowing energy pellets a profound relief. You gather them, feeling the faint, restorative warmth as they integrate into your suit. It's a temporary reprieve, a shallow sip from a nearly empty well. The metallic taste in your mouth slowly recedes, replaced by the faint, almost sweet tang of replenished energy. But the exhaustion remains, a deep, bone-weary weight. This is the constant, brutal rhythm of existence out here. Every necessity comes with a price, every moment of sustenance earned through struggle and expenditure. It's a game of diminishing returns, a constant negotiation with a hostile galaxy that offers nothing for free. You realize that survival isn't about grand victories, but about a million small, brutal calculations, a relentless grind against overwhelming odds, just to earn another breath. And you walk on, knowing that the next cost is always lurking, just around the corner. The air around you is utterly, impossibly still, a silence so profound it feels less like an absence of sound, and more like a crushing weight pressing against your eardrums. Even the subtle hum of your suit's internal system seems muted, swallowed by the vast, indifferent void. There's a faint, metallic tang in your filtered breath, not from any immediate danger, but from the sheer loneliness of empty space, a taste of isolation. Your heavy boots land on rough, uneven stone, but the sound of impact feels swallowed immediately, dying before it can echo. You walk through cavern after cavern, passage after passage, and for what feels like an eternity, there is no sign of movement, no distant chitter, no rustle of hidden creatures. The bioluminescent fungi cling to the walls, their glow steady but cold, offering illumination without warmth, without company. You are a solitary flicker of light in an endless dark. Your internal comms, usually crackling with environmental data or weapon diagnostics, are eerily quiet. No enemy signatures, no anomalous energy readings, just the stark, unyielding truth of emptiness. You find yourself listening intently, straining against the quiet, hoping for any sound. The drip of water, the rustle of a distant monster, even the frantic shriek of an alarm. Anything to break this profound, overwhelming stillness. but there is only silence. You reach out, your gloved hand brushing against a colossal stalactite, its surface rough and damp. The cold seeps into your palm, and for a moment you imagine another hand, another living presence, reaching back. But there is nothing. Just the indifferent stone, the pervasive chill, and the echo of your own filtered breath in your helmet. A solitary rhythm in a world that has forgotten what rhythm means. The sheer scale of the caverns, once awe-inspiring, now feels suffocatingly vast, each empty space amplifying your singular existence. Your mind begins to wander, stray thoughts drifting into the quiet, unbidden. How long has it been? How much further is there to go? The questions feel like whispers in a vacuum, without answer, without witness. This isn't just a place devoid of life. It's a place that feels actively empty, as if everything that once was has been carefully, painstakingly excised, leaving behind only the stark, unadorned rock and the profound, deafening silence. You push on, one step at a time, each movement a small act of defiance against the overwhelming quiet. The solitude isn't just external. It starts to seep inward, a cold, heavy sensation in your chest. You are alone. Utterly, irrevocably alone. And in that raw, exposed state, you realize that, while physical threats test your strength, profound loneliness tests the very fabric of your will, forcing you to find the echoes of your own purpose in a universe that offers no comfort, no companionship, only the deafening silence of your own existence. The silence is a living thing now, pressing in on you, a vast, empty canvas where your own thoughts begin to echo, amplified, and distorted. The metallic taste in your filtered breath is not from any external source, but an internal bitterness, a dull, pervasive flavor of growing despair. Your suit's hum, once a comforting constant, now feels like a solitary drone in an infinite, uncaring void. You find yourself stopping, not to observe, not to scan, but simply to listen to the emptiness. Your heavy boots feel leaden on the cold, indifferent stone, each step a monument to a futile journey. The glowing flora on the cavern walls, once a source of alien wonder, now seem like mocking, sterile eyes, reflecting back only your own profound isolation. A cold sweat breaks out beneath your suit, not from exertion, but from a deeper chill, a creeping dread. Images flicker unbidden in your mind, the faces of those you've lost, the triumphs that now feel hollow, the purpose that seems to stretch into an unreachable horizon. You rub a gloved hand against your visor, as if trying to clear away not just the condensation, but the mental fog that threatens to engulf you. The sheer scale of this alien world, its vast, dark chambers and winding passages, feels less like a challenge and more like an endless, inescapable prison. A sharp, almost physical pain lances through your head, not from an impact, but from the relentless, internal struggle. Your mind races, cycling through worst-case scenarios, replaying past failures, clinging to any shred of hope, only for it to dissipate like smoke in the profound quiet. You try to focus on your mission, on the next objective, but the words feel hollow, brittle, echoing against the overwhelming weight of solitude. You push on, forcing one foot in front of the other, each step an act of sheer will against the encroaching darkness in your own thoughts. The physical aches of your body, the dwindling energy of your suit, they are almost secondary now. The true battle is here, inside your helmet, against the insidious whispers of futility, the tempting embrace of surrender. This isn't about fighting monsters anymore. It's about fighting yourself, about finding the strength to keep moving when every fiber of your being screams to stop, to give up, to simply lie down and let the crushing silence consume you. And in this desperate, internal war, you realize that the most formidable enemy isn't always external, but the one that thrives in the quiet, lonely corners of your own mind. You feel it before you see it. A profound, heavy stillness in the air, a peculiar resonance that seems to dampen all other sounds. Even the subtle hum of your suit. It carries a faint, almost indescribable scent, like ancient, sun-dried stone mixed with something utterly alien and subtly sweet. A scent that tickles the back of your throat, bringing an unexpected sense of calm. But it's a calm that feels unnerving, a silence that holds a hidden weight. You step into a vast, naturally carved amphitheater, its walls smoothed by an unseen force, glowing faintly with a diffused, cool light that offers no discernible source. And there, at its center, is the gaze. It emanates from a colossal, obsidian-like structure, rising from the cavern floor like a forgotten sentinel. Embedded within its polished, reflective surface are two immense, luminous orbs, deep wells of swirling nebulae, like miniature galaxies trapped in crystal. They don't blink. They simply jury, Selixel Untacher, and they are watching you. There's no aggression in their stare, no hint of a threat. Instead, you feel an immense, quiet curiosity, a gaze that feels ancient beyond comprehension, weighing, analyzing, perceiving. It's unnerving. It's as if your very essence, your thoughts, your history, are being laid bare, gently peeled open for an alien intellect to examine. Your suit's combat sensors remain eerily silent, registering no hostile intent, no energy signatures that would trigger a warning. This absence of threat, in itself, is terrifying. You instinctively raise your arm cannon, the familiar weight, a small comfort, but your movements feel stiff, almost performative, under that unwavering scrutiny. The glowing orbs in the obsidian structure don't react, don't flinch, don't even subtly shift their focus. They simply continue to observe with a calm, patient intensity that makes your skin prickle, even through your suit's thick plating. You can almost feel the cold, impartial logic of their silent assessment, a profound alien intelligence attempting to categorize and understand. The air around you feels thick with the unspoken, a silent dialogue unfolding between you and this ancient, unmoving entity. You take a breath, and the filtered air tastes sterile, emphasizing your isolation, your singular presence under this immense, calm scrutiny. It makes you feel incredibly small, incredibly exposed, despite the power of your armor. This isn't a challenge to be fought, but a profound, almost spiritual encounter, a moment of unsettling communion with something utterly vast and unknowable. You slowly lower your arm, realizing the futility of aggression here. This gaze doesn't demand a response of violence. It demands a response of being, of simply existing under its quiet, unwavering perception. And in that unsettling calm, you realize the true measure of your vulnerability isn't just physical, but psychological. To be seen so completely, so dispassionately, by something so utterly alien, is to understand a new kind of isolation, a silence so deep it resonates in the very core of your identity. The profound stillness in the air has shifted, now carrying a faint, almost warm resonance that brushes against your skin, even through your suit. The scent, once alien and unnerving, has softened, a subtle, earthy sweetness that feels strangely comforting. Your heavy boots make no sound on the polished stone as you walk, drawn by an invisible thread toward the colossal obsidian structure. The two immense, luminous orbs, the eyes of the entity, still gaze upon you, but their intensity has changed. The cold, analytical curiosity has softened, replaced by a deep, ancient empathy, a quiet understanding that seems to flow directly into your mind. It's not a voice, not a thought, but a pure, unadulterated feeling, a wave of shared experience that washes over you, momentarily overwhelming your senses. You feel the immense sorrow of a vanished civilization, the quiet pride in their achievements, the deep care for the life they nurtured. It's an entire history, conveyed in a single, resonant pulse. You reach out your gloved hand, not in defense, but in a gesture of tentative connection. As your fingertips brush the cool, polished surface of the obsidian, a gentle, electric hum vibrates through your arm, flowing into your entire body. The luminous orbs pulse, brighter now, in a harmonious rhythm with your own heartbeat. You see images in your mind's eye, fleeting flashes of another world, another time, benevolent beings soaring through starlit skies, ancient technologies tending to vibrant ecosystems, a shared purpose binding a people to the universe itself. It's a silent story, told in light and pure sensation. A profound peace settles over you, a calm deeper than any you've felt since crashing on this world. The nagging anxieties, the physical aches, the mental strain, all dissipate, replaced by a quiet clarity. Your suit's internal systems register a gentle, restorative energy field, subtly recalibrating your power and shield matrices, a silent blessing from an ancient, forgotten source. The air around you feels lighter, easier to breathe, as if the very atmosphere is exhaling with you. You pull your hand away, and the subtle connection lingers, a faint echo of warmth on your palm. The luminous orbs dim slightly, their gaze still upon you, but now infused with a sense of quiet farewell, a lingering hope. This wasn't an attack or a challenge, but an acknowledgement. A moment of profound, wordless communication between two vastly different species across an unimaginable gulf of time. You turn to leave, your steps feeling lighter, more purposeful. The silence of the ruins is no longer deafening. It's a resonant hum, filled with the echoes of shared wisdom. You carry something new from this place, a quiet strength that isn't just power, but understanding. And in that fleeting connection, that brief, beautiful moment of empathy, you realize that even in the most hostile and alien corners of the galaxy, the most powerful force might just be the ability to see and understand, beyond species, beyond purpose, beyond the void itself. It's a reminder that even when all seems lost, there can always be a connection, a shared pulse in the vast, indifferent universe. The floor beneath your boots gives a sudden, nauseating lurch, not a tremor or an impact, but a profound, fundamental shift. For a terrifying, stomach-dropping second, you feel completely weightless, suspended in a silent, impossible void. The air, usually a constant presence, feels to vanish, leaving a dry, metallic taste of pure disorientation on your tongue. Your suit's internal gyroscopes scream, struggling to compensate for a force that simply isn't there anymore. Then, gravity reasserts itself, but from a different direction entirely. The wall to your left suddenly becomes the floor, slamming into your boots with a jarring impact that makes your knees buckle. Dust and loose debris, previously clinging to the original floor, now rain down from what was once the ceiling, hitting your visor with soft, hollow pings. Your internal comms blare, a chaotic jumble of system warnings and pressure readings, as your body fights to reorient itself. Your stomach churns, threatening to revolt. You scramble to find purchase, your gloved hands slapping against the now vertical floor that was a wall moments ago. The disorientation is profound, a dizzying spiral that makes your head ache and your vision swim. Every instinct screams that up is up, but your senses are telling you something completely different, something impossible. The stalactites hanging from the cavern's true ceiling now look like strange, inverted growths reaching upwards from a phantom ground. You try to take a step, and your foot swings wildly, struggling to find the new gravitational pull. Your limbs feel heavy, sluggish, as if your internal sense of balance has been utterly severed. The constant hum of your suit is now accompanied by the frantic whir of its thrusters, kicking in automatically, trying to stabilize you in this topsy-turvy environment. You catch a glimpse of a familiar energy conduit, now running horizontally across what used to be a ceiling, its glowing current pulsing, with an unnerving, sideways energy. A low, mechanical groan echoes through the chamber, not from something moving, but from the very structure of the space itself, shifting, reshaping. The air, though still, feels heavy with this unseen, fundamental manipulation. You push off, trying to regain your bearings, and your leap sends you soaring further than intended, nearly slamming into another wall. The jarring impact only serves to heighten the nausea. This isn't just an obstacle, it's a complete reimagining of physical reality. Your body, your suit, your very perception of space are being relentlessly challenged, twisted. It's a profound disquiet, a violation of the most basic rules of the universe you understand. And as you try to navigate this impossible space, every fiber of your being screams in protest, fighting against the disorienting, sickening twist of a gravity that has utterly abandoned its fundamental laws. You're not just in a new place, you're in a new way of being. The sickening lurch in your gut slowly begins to subside, replaced by a sharp, almost exhilarating focus. The metallic taste of disorientation lingers, but now it's overlaid with the subtle, analytical scent of your suit's gyroscopes working in perfect, strained harmony. Calculating, adjusting. You're still spinning, but the internal chaos is less overwhelming, your mind finding a new, precarious anchor. You push off the newly established floor, the former wall, with a careful, measured thrust. The initial wild flailing is gone, replaced by a conscious effort to understand this new reality. Your suit's internal sensors flash a bewildering array of vectors and gravitational pulls, all contradictory, all demanding a reevaluation of every instinct. You ignore the external visual cues of falling debris, of inverted stalactites. Instead, you listen to the subtle whir of your internal stabilizers, the low thrum of artificial gravity projectors working against the planet's whims, trusting the technology to translate the chaos into a new kind of order. You propel yourself across the chamber, not flying but executing a long, controlled drift. Your heavy boots find purchase on another surface, a previous ceiling, now a solid ground. The impact is softer this time, your muscles, guided by your suit's augmented proprioception, absorbing the force with newfound grace. There's a strange, almost balletic quality to your movements now, a slow-motion dance through an ever-shifting landscape. You feel the constant subtle hum of your suit's thrusters, tiny engines compensating for every unpredictable lurch, every sudden twist of localized gravity. You spot an energy conduit, now snaking across a vertical plane. With a precise burst of thrusters you ascend, almost like climbing a ladder made of air, your armored form clinging to the unseen gravitational pull. Your eyes, once overwhelmed, now filter the bizarre environment into a series of navigable pathways, your brain recalibrating, up and down, not as fixed points, but as fluid, temporary directions defined by your own movement and the fluctuating, powerful field around you. The air around you still carries the faint hum of strained energy, but it's becoming familiar, a new ambient noise. Your boots click against the stone, a rhythmic sound of a body adapting, learning, overcoming. You are no longer fighting the shift, you are moving with it, becoming an extension of its unpredictable flow. It's an exhausting, relentless demand on every fiber of your being, but there's a profound satisfaction in this burgeoning mastery, this defiance of fundamental laws. This world, in its constant, unpredictable redefinition of reality, forces you to discard every preconceived notion, every learned instinct. And in that relentless adaptation, you realize a deeper truth. The human spirit, especially when encased in metal and powered by will, is an astonishingly flexible thing. You are not merely surviving its whims, you are learning to dance with them, transforming limitation into a new form of freedom. And this ability to reshape your very perception of reality, that's a power all its own. A familiar, low thrum resonates deep within your suit's core. A silent command from your neural interface. The air around you feels suddenly compressed, as if the very space is shrinking. In an instant, the rigid, protective plating of your suit groans and shifts, contracting around you with a series of sharp, mechanical clicks and hisses. It's a precise, yet utterly visceral transformation. You feel your limbs pull in, knees drawing violently to your chest, arms folding tight against your body. The metallic shell reforms, not just around you, but pull in you, molding itself into a perfect, impenetrable sphere. The world outside shrinks, your peripheral vision narrowing dramatically, replaced by the smooth, curved interior of your new form. The scent of ozone, faint and clean, fills the cramped space. This isn't just an external change, it's a complete physical reorientation, a profound sense of compression. You are now a sphere, compact and utterly contained. The vibrations of the ground beneath you are amplified, resonating through the spherical shell directly into your core. You can feel every microscopic imperfection on the surface you're resting on, every grain of sand, every jagged edge of rock. The air circulation within the ball feels tighter, warmer, a self-contained bubble of recycled breath. The hum of your internal gyroscopes is now a constant, almost soothing drone, maintaining your balance, preparing for motion. With a slight mental command, you begin to roll. The world outside blurs into a streaking tunnel of light and shadow, the rough-hewn walls of the narrow passage rushing past your limited view. The centrifugal force presses you gently into the interior of the sphere, a constant, comforting pressure. You hear the rhythmic rumble of your own momentum, the low whir of internal mechanisms guiding your path, and the faint, grating scrape of the outer plating against the uneven rock. This confinement, this transformation, is both liberating and claustrophobic. You are incredibly fast, incredibly agile, capable of squeezing through passages that were utterly impassable moments before. But you are also trapped, bound within this metallic shell, your senses limited, your physical form compressed into a perfect, unyielding ball. It's a strange paradox. Gaining freedom of movement by sacrificing conventional form, you navigate a particularly tight squeeze, feeling the cold, rough rock brush intimately against your outer shell, the sound of the friction, a high-pitched squeal. A brief, unsettling thought surfaces. What if you can't transform back? But it's quickly silenced by the relentless forward momentum. You are a ball, rolling through the dark, propelled by a will that transcends mere form. And in this confining embrace, you realize that true adaptability isn't just about changing tactics, but about completely reshaping your very being to conquer the impossible, proving that sometimes the smallest form holds the greatest potential. The metallic shell around you feels like a second skin, but a skin that presses in from all sides, a constant, gentle squeeze. The air, recycled and warm, carries the faint, sterile scent of ozone, emphasizing the self-contained nature of your existence. You can feel every minute vibration of the ground, every grain of dust, resonating directly through the seamless armor into your compressed form. It's an intimacy with the environment that is both unnerving and profoundly efficient. You're rolling through an impossibly tight passage, the rough rock walls scraping inches from your outer shell. The sound of friction is a high-pitched grinding shriek, an almost painful symphony that reverberates through the sphere, directly into your ears. You feel the cold, rough surfaces brush intimately against the metallic exterior, a chilling touch that transmits the exact dimensions of your confinement. Your visual display, a single forward-facing lens, shows only a blurry tunnel of rapidly approaching darkness, every turn a leap of faith. The air inside feels denser, warmer, your breath coming in, shallow, quick bursts. There's a subtle, almost frantic hum from your internal gyroscopes, working tirelessly to maintain balance as you navigate jagged edges and unpredictable inclines. You can hear your own heart beating, a muffled thud against the internal padding, amplifying the sense of being utterly enclosed. The sheer claustrophobia of the situation, being sealed inside a cold, unyielding metal sphere, propelled blindly through suffocatingly narrow spaces, would be overwhelming for anyone else. But for you, it has become a tool. The compression, the limited vision, the amplified sensations, they force a singular focus. Every decision becomes immediate, instinctive. You feel the slope of the tunnel, the subtle shift in gravity, the faint tremor of something unseen ahead, all with a heightened sensitivity that transcends normal perception. The confined space, rather than restricting, streamlines your thought, sharpens your reflexes, making you an extension of the ball itself. You navigate a sudden, steep drop, plummeting into a pool of icy, murky water. The impact is jarring, sending vibrations through your entire spherical form, and the cold of the liquid instantly penetrates your outer shell, making the internal temperature drop sharply. The water rushes over you, blinding your single lens for a moment, the sound a deafening roar that fills the confined space. Then, with a practiced burst of internal propulsion, you roll forward, cutting through the liquid, emerging on the other side, shaking off the water with a metallic rattle. This mode of being, this forced enclosure, is not a prison. It's a necessary adaptation, a testament to how far a body and a mind can be pushed to survive. And in that relentless, confined movement, you realize that true freedom isn't always found in boundless space, but sometimes in the radical transformation of self, embracing discomfort and turning the very thing that should overwhelm you into your most potent weapon. The claustrophobia isn't a weakness, it's the raw, focused power of ultimate survival. A chilling, antiseptic scent assaults your nostrils, so clean it's unsettling. Like sterile death, it's overlaid with a faint, almost imperceptible tang of something burned, something processed, a chemical scent that makes your throat tighten. The air is unnaturally still, devoid of the natural currents of caves or the vibrant life of jungles, holding a profound, heavy quiet that promises nothing but dread. This isn't just a place. It's a monument to artificial horror. Your heavy boots land on smooth, cold metal plating, each step echoing with a hollow, resonant clank that seems to hang in the air for too long. The floor, walls, and ceiling are all constructed from the same dull, gray, impossibly strong alloy, featureless and oppressive. There are no natural formations, no glowing fungi, no signs of anything organic. This is a manufactured hell, a fortress built for a singular, terrible purpose. The only illumination comes from a network of harsh, flickering fluorescent lights embedded in the ceiling, casting long, stark shadows that writhe with every tiny tremor. Their hum, a high-pitched, incessant buzz, is the only constant sound in this sterile environment, a constant reminder of the mechanical, unnatural forces at play. You feel a persistent, low-frequency vibration emanating from the floor, a subtle thrum that suggests immense machinery churning deep within the planet's core, an engine of pure, cold malice. You move through wide, geometric corridors, each identical to the last, leading only deeper into the facility. The sheer uniformity is disorienting. designed to confound and intimidate. Your suit's combat sensors scream with constant, low-level energy readings, a pervasive, unseen radiation that prickles your skin and makes your internal diagnostics flash a constant amber warning. It's not an immediate threat, but an environmental poison slowly seeping into your systems, wearing you down. Ahead, you see strange, cylindrical capsules embedded in the walls, their contents obscured by thick, frosted glass. You press your gloved hand against one. It's cold, impossibly cold, and radiates a faint, unsettling hum. A subtle tremor that feels deeply wrong. Your internal systems register a faint, sickening drain, a chilling echo of the Metroid's touch. This place is not just home to the creatures, it is their cradle, their incubator, a factory of living nightmares. The profound, chilling efficiency of it all is terrifying. Every surface, every hum, every sterile scent speaks of a meticulous, remorseless design for destruction. This isn't a world to conquer. It's a facility to dismantle, a cold, calculated evil to eradicate. And in this sterile dread, you realize the fight here isn't just against monsters, but against the very idea of a controlled, weaponized life, a chilling perversion of nature itself. This place feels like a wound, bleeding silent horror into the galaxy, and you are its reluctant surgeon. The antiseptic stench in the air intensifies, metallic and sharp, mingled with a new, sickeningly sweet odor, like decay and ozone, and something utterly alien. It feels thick, almost viscous, making your filtered breath taste foul and synthetic. The hum of the facility's power systems, once a high-pitched drone, has deepened into a low, rhythmic throb. A powerful, visceral pulse that resonates through the very metal floor beneath your boots. You step into the chamber, and the source of the dread is undeniable. Before you, impossibly vast, rests a colossal, grotesque organ, a living brain encased in some kind of biological, crystalline armor. It pulses with a sickening, internal light, shifting between sickly greens and angry reds, its numerous neural pathways glowing and flickering, like malevolent thoughts made manifest. The rhythmic throbbing is its heartbeat, a beat that seems to synchronize with your own, making your chest ache with an uncanny connection. From its core, a constant stream of raw, concentrated energy radiates, creating an invisible, crushing pressure that pushes against your suit, making its power core whine in protest. Your internal diagnostics scream, all systems flashing red, warning of critical energy drain, shield failure, weapon system overload. This isn't just a creature, it's a weaponized intellect, a living generator of pure malice, assaulting your very being. You raise your arm cannon, the metal feeling cold and heavy in your grasp. But the mere act feels futile. A wave of intense, mental static washes over you, a profound sense of disorientation that threatens to white out your vision and shut down your internal comms. It's an attack on your mind, a barrage of raw, hostile intelligence, trying to break your will, to overwhelm your very thoughts. You grit your teeth, fighting against the dizzying assault, the metallic taste of adrenaline and fear bitter on your tongue. Tendrils of pure energy lash out from the brain's base, arcs of raw power that strike the surrounding walls with explosive force, sending shards of metal and rock flying. Each impact makes the entire chamber shudder, vibrating through your boots, through your suit, through your bones. The air crackles with the residual energy stinging your skin. This is the heart of the operation, the source of all the horrors on this planet, a singular, powerful consciousness bent on destruction. The battle isn't just physical now. It's a war for your very sanity, a desperate struggle against an intellect that seeks to erase you. The sheer malevolence radiating from the colossal brain is a palpable force, a suffocating presence. You stand there, a solitary figure against an entity of unimaginable power and evil, feeling the relentless throb of its malicious will, knowing that this is the final, defining confrontation. And in that terrifying, desperate fight, you realize that some evils are not just fought with weapons, but with an unyielding will to simply exist, to defy the overwhelming, pulsating malice that seeks to consume everything you are. A guttural, planetary roar rips through the very fabric of the air, not a sound heard, but a cataclysmic force felt deep in your chest, rattling your teeth, shaking your bones. The ground beneath your boots pitches violently, throwing you off balance, and a cascade of dust and debris rains down from the rapidly fracturing ceiling. The sterile, metallic scent of Turian is now completely overshadowed by the pungent, acrid smell of superheated rock, vaporized minerals, and an overwhelming metallic tang of sheer planetary stress. Your internal comms shriek, a cacophony of critical system failures, pressure warnings, and structural collapse alarms. The entire facility is groaning, a sound of immense, stressed metal reaching its breaking point. Crack spiderweb across the dull gray plating of the walls and floor, glowing with an angry internal heat as conduits burst and power lines arc with blinding, furious energy. You feel the floor buck violently, a terrifying heave that threatens to tear the entire structure apart. You scramble to your feet, every muscle screaming in protest, fighting against the violent, unpredictable tremors. Smoke and superheated steam erupt from ruptured pipes, stinging your eyes even through the filtered visor, filling the air with a choking chemical haze. The roar outside intensifies, a continuous, deafening bellow from the dying planet itself, a sound of raw, unleashed geological fury. It's a death rattle, a final, cataclysmic spasm. Your arm cannon feels light, almost useless, in this overwhelming chaos. You are no longer fighting enemies. You are fighting the planet itself. A battle against geological forces that dwarf any creature, any weapon. A huge section of the ceiling collapses with a thunderous crash, sending a cloud of pulverized rock and twisted metal barreling towards you. You dive, pure instinct, feeling the violent suction of the collapse, the debris raining down around your armored form. The ground splinters and buckles under your feet, forming huge, impassable chasms that glow with a sickening internal light, revealing glimpses of molten rock churning far below. The air becomes a swirling vortex of heat, dust, and raw, destructive energy. You are trapped in the heart of a dying world, riding its final, catastrophic throes, and the sheer, overwhelming power of its destruction is terrifying. This isn't just an escape. It's a race against oblivion, a desperate flight from a planet tearing itself apart. The metallic taste of adrenaline is a constant presence in your mouth, a sharp, bitter reminder of the impossible odds. Every step, every leap, is a defiance of the chaos, a desperate clawing for survival against a force that cares nothing for your existence. And as you run, feeling the very ground disintegrate beneath you, you realize that some endings are not quiet and contemplative, but loud, brutal, and utterly final, swallowed by the planet's furious, last roar. The ground beneath your heavy boots is no longer solid. It's a living, screaming entity, bucking and twisting with unimaginable force. A deafening, continuous roar, the death cry of a planet, assaults your senses, vibrating through every fiber of your suit, making your vision blur at the edges. The air is a maelstrom of superheated dust, acrid smoke, and the sharp, coppery tang of pulverized rock that claws at your throat, even through filtration. You propel yourself forward, a blur of desperate motion, scrambling over rapidly forming fissures that glow with an infernal orange light. Behind you, entire sections of the facility simply cease to exist. swallowed by molten chasms or crushed under colossal falling debris. Your internal comms shriek a constant, frantic symphony of system failure warnings, yet a primal instinct, pure and unthinking, guides your every movement. You leap across a widening gap, feeling the violent suction of the collapse tugging at your armored form, barely catching the crumbling edge on the other side. The path is a chaotic, ever-changing gauntlet of destruction. Walls rupture with explosive force, spewing forth torrents of molten slag that hiss and crackle as they race along the floor. You slide, a controlled skid, through a shower of sparks from a bursting conduit, the searing heat washing over your suit. Your arm cannon feels heavy, not for use in combat, but as a ballast, a familiar weight to anchor you in this free fall of reality. Every muscle in your body screams, but it's a distant chorus, drowned out by the sheer, unadulterated will to survive. A massive, multi-ton slab of ceiling crashes down just meters ahead, completely blocking your path. Without hesitation, you spin, slamming into morph ball form, and roll with desperate speed through a barely existing crawl space revealed by the impact. The rough, jagged rock scrapes violently against your shell, a high-pitched shriek of metal on stone, but you push through, the centrifugal force pinning you, urging you onward. The ground quakes, threatening to crush you where you lie, the pressure intense, suffocating. You burst free, reforming from the ball in a single, fluid motion, gasping for breath as your suit's internal fans whine in protest. A shimmering, distant light pierces the smoke ahead. The exit. Impossibly far, yet agonizingly close. You run, faster than you thought possible, each impact of your boots on the disintegrating ground a desperate beat against the planet's final furious pulse. The roar behind you is immense, a monstrous crescendo that promises oblivion. You feel the ground give way behind your very heels, a terrifying, final surrender. Then, you're out. You breach the surface, soaring into the frigid vacuum of space, leaving behind the fiery maelstrom of a world tearing itself apart. The cold, silent expanse is a stark contrast, a sudden, absolute peace. You drift, catching your breath, feeling the faint, cooling hum of your suit's repaired systems. The metallic taste of ash and adrenaline lingers, a testament to the edge you just walked. You survived. Again. And in that silent float above the destruction, you realize that true strength isn't just about fighting, but about an unyielding, primal refusal to be extinguished. A stubborn spark of life against the universe's most brutal, final goodbyes. The absolute silence of space wraps around you, a profound, unyielding quiet that makes the faint hum of your suit's life support systems feel impossibly loud. The air, recycled and sterile, has the clean, metallic tang of pure oxygen, a stark contrast to the acrid stench of a dying world. You are suspended, weightless, in an endless canvas of obsidian, a tiny speck of metal and will against the infinite. Before you, the planet Zebes, once a vibrant tapestry of alien life and ancient ruins, is now a swirling, incandescent maelstrom, a furious sphere of self-immolation. Its colors are violent, searing oranges, angry reds, blinding whites, all churning into a cataclysmic ballet of destruction. You feel the faint, distant tremors of its death throes, vibrations that barely register on your suit's external sensors, yet resonate deep within your chest, a chilling echo of the power you just escaped. Above and around you, stretching into eternity, is the star field. Countless pinpricks of light, each a distant sun, burn with a cold, pristine brilliance. The light is sharp, pure, undiluted by atmosphere, painting your armor with shimmering, silver highlights. There's no warmth from them, no comfort in their distant glow, only the profound, indifferent beauty of cosmic scale. The cold of space seeps into your very core, a pervasive chill that your suit's heaters work tirelessly to repel. You drift slowly, propelled by the faintest burst from your thrusters, watching the final violent gasp of Zebes. It's a moment of profound solitude, an almost spiritual isolation. There's no one to witness this, no one to share the horror or the triumph. Just you, suspended between the explosive end of one world and the silent, unyielding expanse of countless others. The metallic taste of adrenaline from your escape slowly recedes, replaced by the faint, bitter tang of immense emptiness. Your arm cannon, once a vibrant conduit of destructive power, now rests inert, its energy core quiet, a silent witness. The weight of it, once a comfort, now feels simply heavy. Your internal diagnostics run quietly, all systems green, but the calm feels superficial, a veneer over the profound exhaustion that has settled deep within your bones. You are free for now. But this freedom comes with a profound, almost terrifying silence. The starfield offers no solace, no guidance, only an endless expanse that mirrors the new void in your own experiences. This cold comfort, this vast, silent expanse, is a reminder that even when you escape one hell, the universe always has another, greater one waiting. And as you gaze out, a solitary figure amidst the shimmering, indifferent stars, you realize that true peace is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the quiet, resolute strength to simply keep going. One solitary light against an endless night. The hum of your ship's engines is a steady, low thrum beneath you, a familiar vibration that resonates through the pilot's seat and deep into your core. The air in the cockpit is cool, recycled, carrying the faint, clean scent of filtered oxygen and warm electronics, a stark contrast to the acrid smoke and superheated dust of mere moments ago. You grip the flight controls, the smooth, cold metal familiar beneath your gloved hands, feeling the subtle, powerful response of the thrusters as your vessel corrects its trajectory. Outside the viewport, the planet Zebes, once a vibrant, terrifying world, is rapidly receding, a furious, incandescent star shrinking into the black. This furious, cataclysmic ballet of orange, red, and blinding white fire slowly dims, transforming from an overwhelming inferno into a distant, beautiful supernova, a final, violent goodbye. You watch it for a long moment, the colossal fireball shrinking, its incandescent fury slowly dimming into a memory. The sheer scale of that destruction, the finality of it, still prickles at the edges of your mind, a chilling testament to the power you wield and the consequences of your mission. The vast, silent expanse of the void stretches out before you, cold and indifferent, a familiar companion. Countless pinpricks of light, each a distant sun, burn with a cold, pristine brilliance, undiluted by any atmosphere. They offer no warmth, no immediate comfort, only the profound, silent beauty of cosmic scale, a canvas against which your own tiny ship is but a fleeting brushstroke. The cold of space seeps through the viewport, a pervasive chill that your ship's environmental controls work tirelessly to repel, maintaining your small bubble of warmth and life. Your fingers fly across the navigation console, a practiced dance. A distant beacon flickers on the main display, a new threat, a new purpose. The coordinates lock in with a soft electronic chime. There is no applause here, no celebration, only the quiet hum of your ship and the endless, black canvas of stars. This is your life. The lonely hunter, traversing the silent highways between oblivion and the next urgent call. You engage the faster-than-light drive, and the stars outside the viewport stretch into blinding streaks of pure light, a sudden, exhilarating acceleration into the unknown. The familiar lurch of the FTL jump is a comforting jolt, a physical confirmation of your onward journey. Every planet, every battle, every escape adds another layer to who you are, another scar beneath the polished chrome of your armor, another echo in the quiet spaces of your mind. You are a tool, yes, but a tool with a fierce, burning will, driven by a purpose that transcends simple commands. The journey never truly ends. There's always another shadow, another forgotten cry for help, another dark corner of the galaxy waiting to be cleansed. And you, solitary and resolute, are the one who answers. That's the burden and the strange, quiet beauty of your endless task. To constantly move forward, leaving destruction and silence in your wake, always searching, always ready. A singular, lonely light against the overwhelming, indifferent dark. It's a life of constant farewells, but also, paradoxically, a constant reaffirmation of purpose.